Today's album is Keane Upstairs at United, which is right here. Keane and I have a long history. We go way back. Not as far back as I go with the Beatles, but in terms of my musical obsessions, pretty far back. I first discovered Keane all the way back in 2004. They were on VH1's Artists You Ought to Know. Immediately, first listen, I was just obsessed and in love with Tom's voice. It was the greatest thing that I'd ever heard in my entire life, and I had to listen to it forever. So I went out and I got Hopes and Fears. I repeat one this thing so hard. In 2006, when they released Under the Iron Sea, this was the album that made me obsessed. Beyond obsessed. Pretty sure that my friends all just wanted to sever ties with me completely. That's all I would think about is Keane for, several years straight. Honestly, I even got to the point where I annoyed myself. It hit me like no other album had at that point. I would just lay in bed and listen to it over and over again. If I had either of those two albums on vinyl, they would have been my most played, but I don't. Upstairs at United is actually the only Keane album that I have on vinyl, which is very sad. So it was after that that I actually first saw them live. I saw them live for the first time in 2007. I want to do a whole vlog about that because of the impact that it had on my life, the things that I was able to do because of that concert. So I won't talk about it here except to say that it changed my life. And to this day, it is the best concert experience I've ever had. And I go to a lot of concerts. So over the years, up until their break in 2013, I saw them and met them several times. I just have so many fond memories from those times that I wouldn't trade for anything. And I really, 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 really hope that their break is not permanent and that it's just a temporary thing because the world needs Keane. So like I said, the only record that I have of theirs is this little gem. What's cool about this is that it's all recorded live, one take per song, and it's all recorded analog. So if you're not quite sure what the difference between analog and digital recordings are, here's a little bit of info. So an analog graph is smooth and continuous, whereas the digital graph is a representation of the analog graph. If you look at the two types side by side from far away, they will look very similar. But if you look at them up close, the digital one will look like a bunch of steps or squares or blocks. The analog one will look smooth and continuous. Analog has infinite possibilities while digital has a set number of possibilities. If you are trying to choose a color for something and you are looking at that kind of color wheel versus the 8 or so choices that they give you. The color wheel would be the analog because there are infinite possibilities for the different shades of colors that you can use. The ones that are chosen for you, that would be the digital because there are a set number of values that you can use. So anyway, this album was recorded entirely in analog. It was recorded directly to tape and then transferred over to the record. It was recorded at United Record Pressing, which has been in operation since 1949, and they've been in their current location since 1962. The songs Keane recorded for this album all came from their last album, which is Strangeland, except for the very last one, which is a B-side from a long time ago called Fly to Me. I just love that song so much. These recordings capture everything I love about Keane and their live performances. Beautiful emotional performance, melodic songwriting, and their ability to strip down songs to almost nothing and make them feel more intense than they are on the studio versions. Sea Fog, though, ruins me like every time. So while I wish I had all of Keane's albums on vinyl, my wallet has said no. But I'm so glad that I do have this one. I think it's an essential one to have in my collection just because I love their live performances so much. Thank you so much for watching today's episode of May Record a Day. If you want to hear any more about Keane, I will talk your ear off probably for hours. You probably won't want to be friends with me after that. So just let me know in the comments or on Twitter or anywhere really. If you see me in the street, start talking to me about Keane and I will drop whatever I'm doing and just have a conversation with you. So I will see you tomorrow for day 12 of May Record Today. I'm missing Keane a lot today. I saw some posts on Facebook. Yes, good. Some of my friends were posting on Facebook about how much they missed this band. So I kind of got drawn into a never-ending spiral of memories. So go listen to a band that makes you feel things today.